Okay, so it is dark, and I just grabbed my camera from my car. And I do that for an important reason, maybe even an important chapter of my life. Alright, so I have done a lot of thinking, and thinking is pretty cool if you ask me. Let me show you. So, this is my thought board as of currently. This is about a week ago. This is about the night before last. So, I have had a funny, crazy amount of thoughts. Friday, I couldn't sleep. And I was like, if I can't sleep, I'm just going to get productive. So, I started cleaning my room a little bit. And then I started on this. Wow. I may have done a lot of thinking, and I wrote a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I had to think about, like a pink elephant, but not the kind you think, you know? And also about, things I wanted to do to the van, and also, just, a lot of funny stuff, like how the ghost down the hall doesn't really like the mess. I even drew a little picture. Someday this will all be yours, a quote I hear a lot, and that really became relevant. I'm waiting, my guitar constantly staring at me from the distance. That one is just like, dude, you were practicing for like a solid month and then you gave up. And then my savings box, I keep touching it because I keep losing my wallet and I need money. And then I had like these crazy ideas, like, making metal crystals and stuff, and then like you could pretty much just make anything if you can make a metal crystal. And then like how, in today's world, you could use modern tech. You could have a microwave sized CNC, and you could have laser cutters, and you could have 3D printers. There's no excuse to not make whatever you want, right? Now, the pink elephant is full of a lot of information, right? Alex, thank you a lot, sir. You really gave me some real good, what's food for thought. Repetition builds habit. No bad repetition, right? That's a crazy one. That's a real one right there. Because I've realized a lot of my problems and depression come from me doing the same thing over and over again, even though I know it's bad for me, right? Like stopping to watch YouTube before bed, or, this or that. Like all the little things that you do consistently that, aren't good for you, that those create bad habits, and bad habits create a wall you have to break down, right? And, just like each individual one of these things is like, it's just like an individual thought I have, right? Forgot who you are, you should try. And then I was gonna just put nothing there, right? That way, it's like there's a sign that says, and then you're all like, oh, I need to try. And then, today I'm recording because I need to just post something. Another cool thing is, God does not give you what you want, only what you need. It really, really helped me out a lot when I got what I needed, not what I wanted. It made a huge difference. So now I have this whole thought board, and the reason why I need to post it is because it may not be significant to anyone else, but it's significant to me. And, I feel that as long as I can actively work and talk about, the things that are going through my head, and be able to keep a record of them and actually keep track, I might actually be able to build on top of it instead of letting the dust blow away in the wind like it always does. To simplify, I found a lot of joy in idealizing my future. I think that might work. It might work for what I'm trying to use it for, right? I've been idealizing my future, and it feels like I haven't done that in a while, and it feels like that's one of the big things that keeps me out of depression, is when I'm idealizing my future, right? It feels like for the longest time I wasn't really thinking about my future, and I didn't really care, and it was like at one point I did, At one point I did, and I felt so happy in my current life because I was planning and idealizing my future. All the things that I really wanted to accomplish in life, I was actively working towards. So I didn't have everything I wanted, but I knew the things that I felt happy to think about, you know, the things that made me passionate, the things that drove me, you know, I was actively working towards those things. And then it seemed like I got to a point where I got broken down so much that I lost that drive and that urge and that enthusiasm to just keep growing and achieving. I just lost it all, and I just couldn't even process thoughts in that direction anymore. And it felt like I lost the ability to think, but that wasn't the case at all. I could still think, but I wasn't able to process the same ideations of the future that made me so happy in the first place, right? And, you know, if you could visualize your future in a beautiful way. I've looked around at the people at my job, and I see a lot of them. They hate their job, hate their life, hate their wife, hate their kids, and just, well, all around miserable, right? You know, some of them are funny people, some of them are cool people, but none of them are having a funny or cool time being there. They'd rather be somewhere else. And I honestly don't mind working a lot if I'm doing good work. But I think that what it is like, if you have to do the same thing every day for prolonged periods of time, you go insane. An animal in a zoo spends every single day in the same enclosure with the same animals doing the same thing. Nothing changes. And when your job's like that, it doesn't matter if you get out at the end of the day, you're still depressed. You're still going to be miserable. And I don't want that. And I feel like teaching is the route I'm going to go this time. And I think that's obviously going to change down the line, you know. You have to be prepared for change. You have to plan for change, right? You have to leave room for change, you know. Like, my goal isn't necessarily to become a teacher, but my goal is to look into other alternatives to what I'm doing now, because what I'm doing now I don't see lasting much longer than it is right now, right? I've got several different options in my head, and I've got several different options I'm currently looking into, and one of them might pay out, one of them might work out, and one of them might lead me to what I want, because I don't know what I want. I really don't. I know what I think I want, but I don't know what I actually want. I don't know what's actually going to make me happy. And until I find it, I just got to keep looking. And I know that's what the good plan is. And, you know, I look around me and I see on my board, you know, someday this will all be yours. And, you know, my grandmother said something to me earlier today about how she had a dream, that she met God. She said, "God, I'm ready. You should take me." And God said, "Sorry, lady, not today." You know, and she was all like, "Why? They could get on without me. They don't need me." And he was all like, "It's not your time." You know, and I'm like, you know, that hearing my grandmother say that, it really hits me in a different kind of light. You know, it's like, wow, you know, maybe I can't take this for granted. Maybe I need to do a little bit more. Maybe I need to take a little bit more initiative. And, you know, I feel like I just haven't been so self-aware around myself. You know, like I feel like a lot of my friends kind of look at me as just a background character, and I feel like maybe I've treated them like background characters, and that there's a lot of things around me that I've kind of just taken for granted and just sat around and then watched disappear, and then was like, wait, wow, where'd it go? You know, I feel like I've just been I've been lost. You know, I feel like I've been trapped in this little hole of depression that hasn't necessarily kept me from being happy, from being myself, but has prevented me from being the fullest, being the happiest, being the most enriched, right? I like to think that everybody is mildly depressed at some point or another, but not everybody is depressed, right? You know, and it's like you see a lot in this world where there's reasons people are sad. Death, experiencing death and being around death. It's crazy to think that you need drugs to deal with that or other forms of depression, right? Like, you have a real adequate reason to be sad, a genuine reason to be sad. You have the most realist of real reasons to be sad, and it's perfectly natural. Feeling that feeling for a good reason, and it's like, why would you suppress something so natural and real? Anyways, I think I've gone on long enough of a rant. Anyways, what I was saying was that for the longest time, I have felt like I have just been following in my younger self's footsteps, you know, doing what he would have wanted me to do, but not doing what I would have wanted to do. You know, and now I'm at a point where I've had this grand awakening to my own mind, and I am actively looking at it introspectively and saying it's time to realize that someday this will all be mine. If my grandmother keeps telling me, you know, it's probably true, right? This will all be mine, and that's like a scary thought. It's like, what would I do? I live here. I deal with my grandparents every day, and I love them, and they're great people, and they're my people. These are my relationships. This is my family. These are my pets too. I have to live with them. You know, this is my room. You know, like, I should do better. I really should. I should take better care of it. And, you know, I should take more initiative. I should focus more on bettering myself and bettering my relationships with the people around me. And it's like, I think that the main key to realizing that for me personally, and it changes for everybody else, you know, it changes per person, but for me personally, the main key to realizing that is realizing that your future's real. And if you could imagine a better future, if you could just imagine a better future, then you could start making that better future. And it's really, I feel like it's really just that simple, you know? Imagine one day I could have my own house. I could have that van running. I could learn to play guitar. I can have my own miniature CNC. I can be done with school and be a teacher and get good vacation time, and also get holidays off and weekends, and like have health insurance, and like be able to like hang out with new people every semester, and it's never the same story, and I could always do something better, and like that sounds good. It sounds fun. It sounds real. You know? I just want something that's real. And I guess we'll figure it out, you know? I'm just like, I'm fresh back into being alive again, and it feels great because like being alive is cool, and more people should do it. I really think that being alive and really living is a great quote from Charles Ross. God bless you, Charles Ross. Where did you get that quote from? He's the reason why I'm doing this. Charles Ross, you're the YouTuber that led me to become a better person, and I'm not a great person right now. I really have been on the incline, and now I'm here on YouTube, and I'm gonna have to edit this 22-minute video down to about maybe like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Let's try. Peace.